Go ahead,
Alex.
Skip.
Hi.
Alex,
You and your bestie.
I want to apologize for Shannon the last 3 days because he hasn't been himself. He's been a little mopey. He misses Jenny.
Ooh.
Just misses
Miss you, Jenny.
Yeah, he does. It's okay.
I can't give you.
Oh!
Yeah. No.
No, you get one?
No.
Am I going to get?
Oh, okay. Jenny, you see
I
that,
gotta get
right?
one. I got to get one.
Jenny, you see that?
Can we all be friends?
Yeah, we.
saw
Alex.
There we go.
Alex,
That's what
good
I'm talking
people.
about.
Half-hearted,
Alex, good people.
disingenuous,
How's it?
fake, phony. It's okay. How are you, Shannon? This is real.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Good to see you.
Here we
Skip.
go.
Good to see you again.
All right, guys, let's start with some trash talk from Jalen Ramsey. He called out basically every starting quarterback earlier this month, and now he's unloaded again. Rob Gronkowski might be the best tight end in the NFL, but Ramsey doesn't think very highly of him. He told ESPN the magazine that Gronk did, quote, literally nothing when the Jags played the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Gronk only had one catch in that game, but he left before halftime because of a concussion. Ramsey added, quote, I don't think Gronk's good. Let me say, I don't think Gronk is as great as people think he is. Anytime Gronk has been matched up with a corner, he had a very bad game, and that corner has had a very good game. Tom could take me as a receiver, and I'd be a first-team All-Pro. Shannon, is there any truth to Ramsey's comments about Gronk?
Well, he did. He later clarified it. He's right. Gronk isn't good. Gronk is great. There's not a metric that you can come up with by any metric that Gronk isn't a great football player. And when it's all said and done, he'd probably go down as the greatest tight end to ever play. See, what Jalen's doing, Skip, he's falling victim to. Look at what he did against us. He had one catch, got knocked out. Okay, Jalen, but 2 weeks later, did you see what he did in the Super Bowl? 9 for $116 and 2 touchdowns. You see, Gronk is the only tight end I feel, and I've ever felt, that could go get 20 touchdowns in a season. He has that kind of talent. Skip, did you know Jack Doyle had more targets than Rob Gronkowski? Rob Gronkowski finished 23rd in the league in targets. If he's anywhere else,
He's a Colt, by the way.
yeah, Jack Doyle. Yeah, he's a Colt. And you were like, Jack Doyle. But all the big name tight ends, you know, Travis Kelce had more targets than he did. But nobody thinks those guys are as dominant as Gronk. He's the most dominant non-quarterback, regardless of position other than quarterback, in the National Football League, Skip. You take the wide receivers, you take running backs, you take D linemen, corners. Rob Gronkowski is the most dominant non-quarterback playing in the NFL. He can go get you, 10 catches for $152 touchdowns. Not only can he get yards and catches, he puts the ball into the end zone. Skip, I was a guy, I can go get a lot of catches, I can get a lot of yards, but I couldn't put the ball in the end zone. A lot of that had to do with Terrell because we ran it when we got down there. We didn't throw it like they do now. But I didn't get the touchdown year in and year out. Dude got 5 double-digit touchdown seasons. Skip, that's rare. Jalen, I get it, bruh. He didn't lie now. Jalen Ramsey, if he played with Tom Brady and he had focused on being a wide receiver, yeah, I believe Tom Brady could make him. But they go hand in hand, Skip. Normally, quarterbacks that make to the Hall of Fame that are good, they throw to other wide receivers that end up going to the Hall of Fame or that are very good, and wide receivers vice versa. It's the kind of the situation like Tom Brady did win Super Bowls without Gronk. He won one recently without Gronk. Joe Montana won 2 Super Bowls without Jerry Rice. But it's hard for me to believe that Jerry didn't add something to Joe, and Joe added something to Jerry. It goes hand in hand. But when he says Gronk isn't good, nah, Jalen, I'm going to have to leave you on this one. You're going to have to ride this one alone, bro. I can't plant a flag next to yours on this. Gronk isn't good. Gronk is great. And when it's all said and done, he's going to have a gold jacket, and damn. I don't know.
And you're going to be in second place or third place. Tony Gonzalez.
Whoa.
Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp.
No.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we got to have some. You got to have some playoff wins. You got to have some jewelry. Yeah. You got to have some jewelry. You can't be a king with no crown. But Gronk is great.
I don't know that. I just know that I love me some Jalen Ramsey.
You know what?
Because Jalen Ramsey just pushed Shannon Sharp deep into an unwinnable corner. because Jalen Ramsey just closed the case of Tom Brady way over Aaron Rodgers.
No, he
That's
didn't.
what just happened here. Because all you've told me is that Rob Gronkowski, you went so far as to say in a show we did in New York in our first year here on Undisputed, we're almost to our 2-year anniversary mark.
Yep.
Way to go.
September 6th, right?
Well, September 6th. But shortly into Undisputed's first year, we were in New York City, and you dared to blurt out that Rob Gronkowski was the best tight end who'd ever played the game, right? Didn't you say that? I don't know if you want to amend that or take that back.
You know what? No, I don't want to amend it. I just want him to stay healthy. I just want to see him play a couple of years all the way through.
So Jalen Ramsey is basically saying that, wait a second, our metrics told us that the favorite target of Tom Brady is this big guy. He's 6'6", 265. So why shouldn't we put a cover corner on him, especially a cover corner like Jalen Ramsey, who's a bigger corner. He's not like huge, but he goes 6'1", 208. So he's saying, I'm big enough and quick enough and strong enough, I can just take him out of the game. Well, obviously, Jalen overstates every case he makes, but there's much truth in what he's saying because I'm not sure how many plays he actually had him man-to-man.
Right.
But he's suggesting he had him a lot in the first half. Gronk did catch one ball for 21 yards, so I don't know if that was Jalen's coverage or not, or if it was some other coverage. But they did tag him near the end of the half, 2 minutes left, and he did not play in the second half. And then, Mr. Sharp, what happened to Jalen Ramsey's defense in the fourth quarter of that game? Help me out here. My memory fogs here on this Friday.
They kind of fell apart.
They fell apart. So they have the two best corners in pro football, in Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye. And all of a sudden, this guy, Tom Brady, who's, I don't know, he's 40 years old. He's an old man. He's washed up. All of a sudden, there's no Gronk, but there's no problem because Tom Brady in the fourth quarter of that game, the AFC Championship game, with 12 stitches in the base of his thumb on his throwing hand, he throws in the cold up in Foxborough for 138 yards in the fourth quarter and 2 touchdowns and brings them back from 20-10 with no Rob Gronkowski. How's that possible? So he loses the guy Shannon Sharp, all-time great tight end, calls the greatest tight end. And he still pulls that off. And do I need to remind everyone that the previous season, Gronk missed the last 8 games, including 2 playoff games leading to a Super Bowl in which Tom Brady trailed 28-3, and the rest is Super Bowl history because he threw for 246 in the fourth quarter and overtime to bring them all the way back.
Is Jerry Rice any less great because Joe Montana won 2 Super Bowls without him?
No, but this isn't about that.
But I'm just saying, you're trying to minimize Gronk because you said Tom Brady has won Super Bowls without him, and he did what he did in the fourth quarter without Gronk.
Who was his go-to receiver before Jerry? Dwight Clark.
Yeah,
he was
Dwight
really
Clark.
good.
Had Freddie Solomon. He had some. He had some.
Dwight
Okay
Clark made the greatest catch in NFL history that turned the tide for 2 franchises.
No, David Tyree
Dallas
did.
and San Francisco. Well, that's the luckiest catch.
That don't look. That was skill.
It was the most dramatic catch.
But here, the thing is, Skip, is that if you look at Gronk, let's just say for the sake of argument, he was with Drew Brees in New Orleans. There was a time that Drew Brees was giving Jimmy Graham 130 targets. Gronk had 105 in 14 games. DeAndre Hopkins, let's put this in context. DeAndre Hopkins played 15 games. He had 69 more targets than Gronk. AB, they played the same amount of games. He had 58 more targets. Can you imagine if Tom, because here's the thing that works against Gronk. Coach Belichick doesn't say, we are a passing team, we're going to throw no matter what. Coach Belichick says we are a chameleon team. If you're trying to stop our run, we're going to throw the ball. If you play off, we're going to run the ball. So Gronk really doesn't know week to week how involved he's going to be in a game plan simply because the defense, what is the defense going to do?
They're going to double him. But with whom are they going to double Rob Gronkowski? Right?
Yeah.
A safety and a linebacker?
But here's the thing. But Skip, everybody doesn't have a Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
Everybody doesn't have a Talib that
not.
you can put a big physical corner. And still, if you look at that one that you just saw, that was 22 man. Ramsey did have help over the top.
Okay.
So it's not like it was a situation where you're like, okay, you got him all over the field.
Yep. I hear you. But I think he's saying that all their analytics and their metrics said, hey, just let a corner have him because he is a favorite target. And if he's single covered with a corner and Tom tries to go to him, you can still take him out of the game with one man and leave an extra man to go.
But that corner needs to be like a Jalen Ramsey. He needs to be 6'2", 210. But how many corners are like that, Skip?
Well, you could argue he's the best, but I'm saying he's saying, again, he's overstating, but he says if you just put a corner in, I'm assuming other teams have done this that we didn't catch, because he's saying that they saw it on tape, that others have done it, and he's had very bad games. I don't know what qualifies as very bad in Jalen's view.
I don't either.
Okay, but the point is, he goes so far as to say Danny Amendola is terrible. He just dismissed him as terrible. Well, you could argue that he was